After the last video, I read so many thoughtful comments where you shared your own mascara solutions, accidental discoveries, weird tricks, and things that finally worked after years and years of frustration. I was shocked because I thought that video is gonna totally flop. I have never ever met a person that would have the same extreme problems with mascara, but it's actually now my mostly viewed and best performed video ever on this channel, and I gained so much of new subscribers because of it, so I'm super thankful to you. It just showed that we can still communicate in a good manner and have a lovely conversations and helpful comments, and we just created like a beautiful community in the comment section. So now I decided to do a part 2. What really stood out to me is that people who hate mascara don't hate actually beauty. They just hate the smudging, the checking in, the stress. And most of your tips weren't about buying more, but more about simplifying and adapting makeup to real life. Alright, so I just decided to go through some comments. So one viewer, Loco, actually suggested primer, mascara, primer. And I've done this experiment today. I used my primer that I already mentioned in that video. So if you haven't seen that video, then you should check out that one first and then come back to this one. So the Maybelline Sky High Black Primer. And then I went for the new mascara. If you haven't seen this one, this is the Extensioniste from L'Oréal Paris. I done a review because I haven't given up on mascaras, and also because I have beauty channels, I have to do the reviews, you know. And yeah, it did smudge the tiniest bit, but the best result ever with drugstore mascara, and the smudginess was really like 1%. It was still there, but it was the lowest that I've experienced with the drugstore mascaras or even luxury mascaras. So I've used that one on top, and then I went back in with this one. So I'm gonna do an update on this, how it works, but I haven't had any problems with clumping my lashes. Probably it all depends on which primer and which mascara you use, so be mindful of that. So this actually makes a lot of sense when you think about oil and separation. I wouldn't do it every day, but for long or emotional days, I totally get it. So I would use this technique, if it's gonna work, for those days that I need dramatic lashes. So mostly for some kind of a special occasion, or I don't know, an evening look. But yeah, as I said, for my everyday makeup, I'm super low maintenance, so I like to, I mean, it depends who you ask, because I still love makeup and I still love to apply it on my face. But in the mascara department, I just like to do one layer and that's it. I think that the primer on its own, it just gets me that I don't need to use anything else, and this is too much fuss for me for an everyday basis for lashes. But it's great to know if it works dramatic looks, because one layer of these or even two, it's maybe not enough for you. Alright, so let's move on to the next comment. Karma Justice recommends my Milanese tubing mascara. So I just really appreciate these kind of comments, especially the part about why you like it, the lasting power, tubing removal, and no smudging with tears. That's exactly what so many people are looking for. So I know that most people who saw my video actually don't like mascara and don't want to use any mascara, but still maybe some others still want to use a mascara. So I'm just gonna mention all the mascaras that were mentioned in the comment section. So if I don't mention every single one, then you can still comment down below so that we can help each other out. Alright, the Deborah Michalak, sorry for totally butchering your, handle names, but the Thrive Cosmetics. So I know about this mascara. It's a super famous mascara, tubing mascara. So here in Slovenia, we don't have a Thrive Cosmetics. So I can sometimes get stuff from USA to try it. But with mascara, I'm always like, should I do it? Because then I wouldn't be able to repurchase it. It's just, I have someone who can sometimes brings something to me from USA, but otherwise, you know, it's not like day-to-day basis or month-to-month basis that I can get stuff from USA. So yeah, but thank you so much for recommending mascara that works for you. And I also appreciate you mentioning a removal technique, because that part it's often skipped. So thank you for adding this perspective. I got so many questions about removing mascara or primer. So what I was taught in a makeup school is that you never should tuck your lashes. So the best way of doing it is to use an oil cleanser, put it on your cotton pad so that it's soaked wet, and then apply it on your eye, and then wait a few seconds. You can maybe slowly massage it, but don't do much with it, don't pull. And then after a few seconds, you can very gently remove it and maybe slightly rub it. You just need to repeat this few times, but that's like the best way for your very thin skin around your eyes and for your lashes. But then go with the micellar water for a double cleanse on top, so that oil it's not left there, especially if you have hooded eyes and already problems like this with mascaras. And then of course, after using micellar water, you need to splash it with your water, because micellar water is drying for your skin. Then the Catherine Kozachok metal applicator. So she mentioned Olivia Blair's one. So I haven't tried that one. So if you did, then please comment down below if it's good or not. But I've used the Judy Dolls ones because they sent those to me. I tried 3 or even 4 different. For me, I can use it for my under eyelashes if I want to, but it's not 100% smudge-proof on me. Then it doesn't do much for my eyelashes, for my upper eyelashes at least. For the bottom, it's really nice, but it's the hardest one to remove, and again, you don't want to pull your eyelashes, so I just tend to avoid that metal applicator. But as I said, I haven't tried the Olivia Blair one. Maybe that's one, it's super good. Also, it depends on your preferences, if you like that very natural eyelash effect or not, you know, or if you prefer something like this, for example. And I just love that this worked for you without any flaking, smudging. I'm just very intrigued by the metal applicator approach, but I just haven't found one that would work on me. And then Krishiri Cat. Heroin make. This is such a good example of how real discoveries actually happen by accident and not by marketing. So wearing a mascara base alone makes so much sense. So thank you for sharing this. I'm definitely intrigued by this one, and I will try to find it in Slovenia or in Europe at least. And then yeah, HDSN25. This one also very interesting. So this is such an interesting point, and thank you for sharing it. So heat setting the curl without constantly squeezing lashes in a color actually makes a lot of sense, especially long term. I think a lot of lash damage comes from pressure plus repetition, not just products, and I really appreciate this perspective. So the most smudging for me, it doesn't come from the start point, so not after I apply mascara, but actually throughout the day, because I apply my eyelash primer that it's super matte, then I use also a powder on top and then eyeshadows, but my oils are still coming through, and that's the weirdest part because my skin is super dry but my eyelids are super oily. If I would dry my lashes with a hairdryer, it wouldn't actually work on me. But if you are in a hurry, that's a really good point. You can, if you have it on hand already tucked in the powder, you can just quicken the process of drying down the mascara or a primer. And I really appreciate this perspective. I love when I get comments from some kind of a professional background. Lash dye plus clear mascara is such an underrated combination, and it explains why it works so well on stage without the stress of smudging. Also, I fully agree on false lashes, so thank you for sharing your experience. So again, if that works for you, if you have voluminous lashes or you don't mind that, then you can just dye your lashes and then use a clear mascara on top. Me personally, I like to add more fibers to my lashes to create more fuller look. It always depends on what you like and what kind of an outcome would you like to have, and with what you're already working with, so what kind of lashes you have. And then Dark Lover dramatic mascara plus clear gel. All right, this is such a smart workaround, because using like a clear mascara or a brow gel as a top coat to unlock things in without adding more pigment, it's actually genius. Especially if you already like the look of your mascara but hate the fallout later. I tried to find like a clear primer or mascara, but yeah, I would need to order it. So I will certainly try this tip when I get my hands on it. And I just love tips like this, simple but effective. Also, you can still use your favorite mascara, which is the best part. And then Stargazer Bud. So this is such a great long-term solution, especially for anyone who wants low maintenance beauty, because, you know, lash tint, it lasts you some time. Curl really does change everything, and I appreciate you mentioning the serum part, because lash health is often forgotten. And also you get a long and maybe even fuller lashes, or at least they appear like you have more of them than if you just tinted it and then just use maybe curl time to time. I wouldn't advise using that every single day because curls can damage your lashes as well. Then that's great as well. So thank you for sharing this. So brown mascara, again, such an underrated option. It's often softer, less harsh, and somehow smudges less on some people. And it's interesting because when you mentioned it, I was like going back through my mind if I had smudginess going on with brown mascaras, and I actually don't think I had. But for me, I prefer black mascara just because I have super cool brows and hair, and everything that is very brown doesn't look as natural because I have black lashes. So yeah, black mascara actually works better on me. But if you like brown mascara, then that's maybe a solution for you. And then you don't need to fuss too much around the primers and clear gels and all that. So thank you for this comment. I'm remembering this comment. It stood out to me because valuing time is such a valid reason to skip mascara altogether, and waking up already looking done is honestly the dream. And if you can achieve that supernatural look without looking too heavy, then that's great. I mean, if you prefer the heavy, super full, very unnatural lashes, then great to you. I'm not judging you. Yeah, I'm more so about very natural beauty. And I also appreciate how honest you were about the pale lashes. This is such a realistic solution for a real life, so thank you for sharing. Then Anna, the lash and brow lift and then a tint, so that makes total sense, especially because you were a swimmer, because lash and brow lifts with tint are such a good low maintenance option when water and daily removal are involved. I also really appreciate you mentioning doing it at home. That accessibility part matters a lot, because I want to try that, but I always think I need to go to someone for that. And yeah, you know, I'm already doing my nails. I don't want to spend too much money on all of these beauty treatments. Maybe I can do it then myself as well. I don't know. I'm a little bit nervous about these kind of things. Right, my hair is not herring today. Liquid eyeliner on lashes, and I love this one. I think you're onto something. I've heard about this too, and I think it's definitely an interesting idea. I think it can work as a tint for some people, but I'd be a bit cautious because liquid liners aren't really formulated for full lash use. But still, I love how creative people get when mascara just isn't it or something else. I would actually advise you here one product. Just a second. Alright, so in my makeup kit, I have the best eyeliner, the most reliable one, and the one that if you have hooded eyes, it's gonna stay put. So because of it, I just use this on my client from Inglot, the brown gel and the black gel. So these eyeliners don't move. They are incredible. I can rely on these 100%, but I have to warn you that they are hard to remove. But if you need a good eyeliner, or if you want to use eyeliner as a mascara, then I would go for this. Usually I use a spoolie or this brush, this kind of a brush, for applying mascara on lashes on my clients. Basically, in this case, you need these two products and you're good to go. And more again, and more again. Mascara first, primer over. Alright, so I tried that as well. And it does sound counterintuitive, but the logic is actually there, and sealing pigment instead of layering more of it. So then I wanted to try a cheaper version even of a primer. So I bought the Catrice Curl Freeze Lash Styling Gel, Milky Black Tint, Black Tinted Lash Styling Gel. Use after lash curler, even says. Don't buy it. First of all, it's so milky. It's not like super black, and it's too wet. I had smudginess going on, so it didn't freeze. We have too many cats. So it's an interesting idea, but be careful which primer you use. So I can really recommend the Sky High from Maybelline. Now I have been using this for 2 weeks. It didn't smudge once. This one did at first go. So yeah, I think it's better if the formula itself is drier, and then it's gonna work. So reading all of these comments really shows how personal mascara struggles are, and eye shape, skin type, lifestyle, even hobbies make such a difference. So if you have more mascara tips or unusual solutions that work for you, then please leave them in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, then please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you haven't yet, it's completely free, but it helps me so much. And if you have an option to hype this video, that would be even better. So have a lovely day and see you in my next video. Bye.